Okay, Moneysocket, t.me/Moneysocket, questions, comments, feedback. There's a whole playlist of these videos. If you want to record a video, I'll add it to the playlist. But yeah, we were discussing the LN URL requests that Andre put in. So yeah, there's lots of stuff to read here. Okay, so I'm starting to get lost into the implementation, but so before really I get too deep into code and disappear for a while, I got these apps kind of rigged up, so it's worth talking about. So these are three very simple browser apps that I'm going to explain here. So I'll pull the diagram. So last time I went over the relays and the junctions and the terminuses. So here I still got the same terminuses, and I got two relay instances here, and I've got three apps that are run in the browser. So this is written in JavaScript. It's meant to be, so I'm going to write a compatible library for JavaScript to talk to Python. Of course, we want, eventually every language anybody wants, but the JavaScript and the Python at least lets us able to prototype and get the basic stuff established. So yeah, just want to talk about these. So here, first is a purse app. This is sort of meant to be like a really basic wallet. This is an opinion buyer app. So this is a client that's going to buy opinions from the seller. So I chose opinions because that's straightforward. We're thinking about like the streaming video use case. So here's just sort of like a simplified example of like there'll be some person with an opinion selling their opinion, and periodically the buyer would go here's the Satoshi, tell me your opinion, and then periodically do that, and then repeat that until either there's some nonsense opinion, or it takes the Satoshi and then never delivers the opinion, and then that's when this guy would give up. But yeah, I don't actually have this implemented. This is just sort of paper thin. The hard part was getting the WebSocket connection code. So I have this all. So yeah, here I can connect and disconnect from the terminus, and then yeah, to the relay is the other one, and then if I kill that, it disconnects it automatically. So I built the connection code, which is kind of hard in itself, but not too bad. It's stuff you don't want to think about. So yeah, just getting it connected was the exercise here. So yeah, all that life cycle stuff works, and it's sort of ready there then to be replaced with WebRTC or whatever else. Because in this setup, yeah, the relay will help you get through a firewall and all that, but it's still kind of clunky. It's not ideal. So in this buyer app, so this sets up, and this is part of the discussion. In here, one of the things that I thought was missing from the PR for LN URL, and I explained it I put it in the comment on the actual pull request on GitHub. I'm thinking of this notion where you have this client side of an interaction. So there's a seller, which is a service looking to make money, but then your client of that service is there looking out for your interests, in that it's the one actually initiating all the buys. And then because it has domain specific knowledge of like what it's expecting to get back in return, it can make an automated assessment of whether to continue or not. So in the case of like a video streaming app, if we paid for 10 seconds of streaming video, and then that cuts off, this guy can recognize it and stop initiating buys of more streaming time. So yeah, that's what I think. When you have something like a service, this guy becomes in the driving seat, and then the actual quote unquote service that's selling you is more of a wallet. It's that this guy is moving money from his wallet into the seller's wallet, rather than the seller connecting to a wallet and then pulling out on their whim. So I think that's a subtle but important point that this app kind of demonstrates here, at least when it's done. The other thing worth mentioning here is this purse app. I chose purse because wallet. I just want to use a different term than wallet. But the notion that this terminus here that's connected to the node, it'll have some balance, and so it'll have some sort of balance feeding into it on the back end, quote unquote back end wallet connection. but then it gets the opportunity then to modify that balance. It's sort of like a layered permission model where there's some pot of Satoshis on the back end, but then the thing that's actually connected to the app, maybe we have finer grain controls on that. So yeah, like if there's 10,000 Satoshis on the back end, maybe this only presents 1,000 Satoshis. If you're gambling, maybe that's your like, pot for the night of like, I'm going to gamble till I lose these 1,000 Satoshis and then I'm done. Or I could decide, oh yeah, I want to try to chase that loss and give myself another 1,000 or whatever, something like that. So it reveals kind of this idea of, yeah, part of the user interface is perhaps nested permissions. And this guy kind of demonstrates. Of course, this guy could connect directly to the terminus, but this guy exists to kind of at least show that idea, and maybe think about like what an actual like mobile UI would look like in sort of this basic form. All right, short one, I guess. So I'm diving into actually writing the commands in Python, and then also JavaScript. So to actually define what all the in socket commands are, and I have a few takes on that, which I'll think through as I develop, and yeah, I'll have to present that once I'm done as an example. And yeah, hopefully I can show this app all working as a demonstration of that. Okay, cool. Thanks.